While every house is decorated with Christmassy vibes, 11-year-old Liam's house has an inflated snowman fallen limp on the porch with voices of his parents arguing coming around. The argument is over a lost treetop ornament that his father lost. In frustration, the 11-year-old boy takes out a pen and paper and writes a letter to Santa. While he thinks it doesn't hurt anyone, his father is concerned over the immature behavior on the top of his dyslexia while his mother just babies him, telling him it's okay. Meanwhile, Liam is just a chill guy who doesn't let society's norms decide whether this should make him an outcast or not. He throws away his parents' concerns about him having no friends by mentioning his friend Gibby. However, he decides to call Gibby, a cool guy who plays football and also adds a touch of sympathy that Gibby has cancer when on the contrary, Gibby is a kid like him who is socially left out due to the shape of his teeth. So now Gibby has to act cancer-y, yet cool to Liam's parents. Liam is innocent as well, to not realize he doesn't stand a chance against the kind and pretty Emma. He tries asking her out for Post Malone's concert, but her boyfriend intervenes. During the class, he gets roasted by his professor for staring at Emma and by his class for being dyslexic, which Emma ends up standing up for, unintentionally feeding into his delusions. While hanging out with Gibby later, Liam mentions writing a letter to Santa, making Gibby eventually tell him to hide this fact from schoolmates so he doesn't get eaten up alive. Gibby is also worried people will avoid him because his bestie believes in Santa. Liam's focus goes on being called Gibby's bestie, so he decides to go straight for a trauma dump by initiating a conversation about something bad happening being the reason why they moved to this town. However, Gibby is quick to change subjects because serious conversations aren't his thing. Later on, Liam's dyslexia works in wondrous ways when he spells Santa as Satan while putting the letter in the letterbox. The Postal Service down in the fiery realms seems to be express since the letter straight away moves down to hell to reach who it got directed to. At night, Liam still finds his parents arguing about his issues up until he goes to bed. However, some noise and stink from his closet makes him wake up. He initially thinks it is his cat littering in his closet, but the smell is too bad for him to ignore. Liam wakes up and finds a bulky and scary-looking man in front of him. The man says he was summoned by Liam, making Liam think it is Santa, but in his real version, not the fictional one. It takes a long indirect conversation for Satan to slowly realize Liam intended the letter to Santa. His suspicions are confirmed when he asks if Liam has spelling difficulties. However, hiding that he isn't Santa, Satan tells him Liam has 3 wishes and he can get anything with those. After questioning why Santa is making a big deal like Genie, Liam accepts the excuse that the genies stole it from Santa. He wonders about wishes to serve the world, but Satan convinces him to wish what his heart desires, indirectly leading him to wish Emma would give him a chance. Satan tells him his wish will be granted and then makes Liam believe he is legit by making his cat do a fancy basketball dunk as if it's human. Liam rushes to tell his mother, but she thinks he just saw some dream and is mixing it up. It gets a little worrisome for his parents when Liam still believes, so during the day, as this might end up in him getting mocked by his fellows. In the science lab, a tiny version of Satan appears in the hamster's box Liam is handling. He makes Liam notice Emma constantly eyeing him and forces him to make a move. Emma gets excited seeing Liam talk to her and mention the concert. Liam almost backs out till Satan convinces him. It turns out Emma is pretty excited to go with him, and she has broken up with the bully of a boyfriend she had. After school, Gibby doesn't believe Liam is telling the truth when Liam sees Satan sitting on a bench nearby. Gibby thinks he is bluffing because the man doesn't give Santa vibes, but when he sees the letter in Liam's hands, he makes Liam read it again and run away from the trouble. Liam confronts Satan and gets to know the truth. He also becomes aware that after the 3rd wish, his soul will be sold to Satan. He wants to call off the deal even after Satan gives him a bonus by getting him tickets for seats closer to the stage at the concert. Satan also shows Liam the life he can give to Liam, but Liam doesn't want that. His teacher cycling by intervenes, and when Satan lies that he is Liam's uncle, the teacher starts complaining about Liam's lack of attention. The boredom makes Satan twist his bowels and embarrass him by making him crap his bicycle shorts. Later, Gibby ensures Liam just uses 2 wishes as he is a good guy who won't resort to evil. At home, Liam plans on getting permission for the concert only to find a child psychologist awaiting him at his house. Being an honest guy, Liam tells the truth to the doctor and his parents who'd believe him anyway. Still, his parents chose a lame doctor whose interest lies in stuffing his mouth with nuts and calling his patients nuts. Gibby saves Liam by lying about Liam promising to accompany him for his chemo sesh. Satan pretends to be Gibby's dad and takes the 2 out of there. Satan has plans to put some charms so Liam can impress Emma, even though Liam wants to be himself. What he does is put a spell on Post Malone, making him think he knows Liam as his inspiration. While poor Gibby is put in the faraway seat, Liam is called on stage by Post Malone, and he dances well thanks to Satan. This turns into an iconic moment as Satan, Emma, and Liam enjoy the concert with Malone on stage. Back at home, Liam calls Gibby, gushing over Emma kissing him on the cheek, and then questions why Gibby left early. Poor Gibby shares how his teeth make him left out of every opportunity, putting Liam deep in thought. This conversation is overheard by his parents, getting them concerned for their son's mental health. After they leave, Satan visits and Liam has a second wish ready for him. The next day, Liam is at his locker when Gibby walks up to him with a perfect set of teeth, telling him it must be related to how his mother used to say they'll be transformed on a random day. Liam doesn't brag about it being his second wish. With Liam getting viral and Gibby getting new teeth, they have transformed into being popular overnight. Liam, Emma, and Gibby go to the Christmas fest the next night when Liam's parents plot against the poor guy. At a corn dog station, Liam finds Satan again, but tells him he isn't making a third wish. Satan keeps trying to convince him, but Liam isn't bothered. Satan tells him where he's staying just in case. When Liam is turning back, his mother finds him and coaxes him into coming towards the car, after which the parents abduct their child and admit him to a hospital. Inside the room, Satan comes and shows visuals of the fest to Liam how Gibby and Emma are bonding over Gibby's lie about cancer. Outside the room, his parents get to know he is completely fine in the head. It is only when a nurse comes, exclaiming he is the kid Malone knew, and shows them the videos that his parents start to believe him. When they bring him back, Liam storms into his room as his parents ruin his day. The couple gets worried for not believing him, even though their fault is their extreme reaction, and not that they couldn't believe this fiction. Gibby and Liam talk in his room when Liam confronts Gibby for making a move on Emma and then about the teeth thing. They get into an argument as Gibby didn't ask to be healed, so he shouldn't get bragged about it. Later on, Liam overhears his parents getting into an argument about the death of his little brother Spencer that made them move here. His mother thinks her husband blames her for letting the kids play outside without supervision, but he doesn't. The argument ends with him deciding to leave for his sister's house for a while. Liam feels tortured with these thoughts and sneaks out of his window to go to Satan, who is enjoying the news of Post Malone not knowing what happened the other night. Liam tells him he wants to make a final wish that his parents stay happily together and not in their marriage or live unhappily. He willingly sacrifices his soul for this to happen and gets told it will be taken away after many years and not right away, so he should live freely and say what's on his mind. His parents get to know he isn't home and rush out to look for him. Stopping on a side, the two of them sit back and talk about Spencer for the first time. Turns out his father blamed himself for going golfing instead of staying with the kids that day, and the pain made him avoid talking about it. But this avoidance led to his wife thinking she was the one to be blamed because she never got consoled. The two finally resolve their differences and decide to talk about problems now. Luckily, they find Liam walking by and bring him to the car. Liam feels consoled seeing his father planning on making pastries for Christmas. The next day, Liam is rude to everyone and calls his teacher a failure in front of the entire class, losing many aura points. Emma tells him she doesn't want to talk to him because being mean is what made her break up with her former boyfriend. Coming back home, Liam watches videos with his brother Spencer when Gibby calls. This is when Gibby gets to know about Spencer's death and feels bad for changing the subject the other day. The two of them apologize to each other for being unreasonable on both their ends and sort things out. Meanwhile, in hell, it turns out Satan wasn't Satan, but a demi-demon pretending to be Satan when he was supposed to just relay Satan's message to Liam and get his 3 wishes for promotion. The actual Satan is a brutal roaster to the fake Satan as he keeps calling him out for his failures in the fanciest and most Gen Z ways. It turns out Liam's soul deal is null and void. And let's not get into the definition of this word. That's because Liam wished for good things and not selfish evil desires. Fake Satan is then fired from his job. That night, he goes to Liam and confesses that he wasn't Satan, making Liam agree because his acts weren't very Satan-y. Fake Satan tells Liam that the deal is null because his parents made it up on their own, so the 3rd wish was never accepted. This means Liam still has his 3rd wish without any soul deal, so fake Satan tells him he might grant what was written in his letter. Liam thinks it is too far-fetched to be a wish, but look at the devil mentioning it as a Christmas miracle. The next day, Liam wakes up to happy chirping in his house as his parents are involved in a cute banter over his father's reindeer pastries. Liam is told his present is under the tree, but he ends up finding an actual Christmas present there. Spencer sits there, perfectly healthy and alive, surfing through his presents. His death had vanished from history, making his family get back to its perfect dynamic. Sometimes deals with devils do end up in a benefit, maybe. Fun how Gibby calls Liam, telling him he got Emma to give Liam a second chance by mentioning his dead brother.